Hello Denim Heads, this is David from the Sons of Selvedge podcast with a 5x1 review where I tell you 5 things you want to know about one rugged good. And today I'm looking at the Maverick Jacket from Stevenson Overall Company. All right, so point number 1 is the fabric. This jacket comes in 3 different denims. The one I've got on here is the 14.5 ounce Indigo Selvedge Denim. So this is an Indigo warp white weft fabric. Super crunchy, pretty crispy, and I think it's going to develop quite pronounced crease lines when it patinas. And this version you can get from shops such as Selvedge or Snake Oil Provisions. I've also got here the black version. This is a black warp and black weft denim. This is a softer 12 ounce. It's a lot less crunchy, a lot less rigid than the Indigo. I still think it's pretty substantial, and you can see already getting some nice patina, some little white popping through. But this is going to fade, I think, a little bit different to the blue version. The black version is a little bit harder to get. The only shop that I believe that still carries this at the moment is Collection Store, based out of Australia. They've got a couple sizes, so you can still get it, but you would have to order this from Australia. And then third, there's actually a gray version, which is like a gray warp white weft denim. I've not seen that version in person, but I believe denimheads.cz, which is in the Czech Republic, carried that version, and they may still have like 1 or 2 sizes left. All right, so point number 2 is the angular design of this jacket. So it's got a pattern that Stevenson Overall Company developed themselves. I have not seen this pattern elsewhere, and it's got some really cool elements to it. So for example, the yoke is at an angle, the pockets are angled, the cinch straps on the back are angled. So there's a lot of like really kind of unique design details that give this that little bit of like a futuristic look, and some of the marketing material called it like the denim jacket from Blade Runner or something similar to that. And I like that idea that it's kind of like a futuristic take on a Western trucker jacket. And as you can see from some of the pleats and details, this is heavily inspired by the Levi Type 3 jacket. So point number 3 I'll talk about is the fit. This is a size 42, which is a Japanese extra large or a US large. I'm 6'2" and about 165, 170 pounds. And this jacket fits me great. It's 21 inches in the shoulder, so you get a little bit of that drop shoulder that Stevenson has on some of their garments, such as the Cody shirt. 23-inch chest and a 21-inch waist. That 21-inch waist doesn't leave a lot of room, even for someone like me who's quite skinny. So, you know, it sits around the belt line, and make sure you're kind of comfortable with the slimmer waist fit on this jacket before you pick it up. And of course, another thing you'll notice is the sleeves are super long. So the sleeves are about 26.5 inches long on a size 42. And I think that's also the same measurement as the center back, 26.5 inches. So great jacket for tall, lanky people or people with a broad shoulder and a narrow waist, but it's not going to fit everyone. All right, so point number 4 is kind of a subtle nod to the Levi's Type 2 jacket, and that's that there's some subtle pleating that's kind of hidden here behind the pockets. They don't really do anything. I think the marketing material says it's for articulation, but that's ridiculous. It doesn't actually help in any way, but I think it's kind of cool. And also you get this neat little triangle single needle stitch that kind of like keeps the pocket and the pleating kind of all working together as one pattern. But I think it's nice to see those kind of like inspirations from other famous garments in the kind of trucker jacket history. So I think that's super cool. And kind of a little bonus point, you know, when you look at the stitching in general, Stevenson just does some nice little finishes. All right, so point number 4 is a bit of a love-hate point for me, maybe even a small annoyance if I'm really honest, and that's that this jacket uses snaps instead of the kind of button that goes through a slit in the other side of the fabric. And I keep hearing a horse in the background, which is kind of perfect for talking about a jacket inspired by Western wear. But anyways, yeah, you'll see here, like, you know, it's like snap closure on the cuff or snap closure on the pockets or on the front of the garment. But where that's annoying is these straps here are also snap closure. And, you know, whether I'm like carrying a Filson tote, putting on my backpack to go to work or similar, I often find these snaps getting popped off. And I wish they either would have used buttons for those, or maybe have just like foregone the snaps altogether. Oh, sorry, foregone the straps altogether if they really wanted to stick to using snap closure, because it just kind of doesn't really help when they're coming popped open all the time. So maybe a bonus point which I'd like to add in here as well is that the jacket is pressed at the collar, so it lays flat like a camp collar shirt. And why I like that is I almost always wear a button down when I'm wearing a trucker jacket. I rarely am a t-shirt guy. And I like the fact that when the jacket lays kind of flat, it just lets my shirt stick out a little bit and pop out of the jacket and kind of add a bit more layering and texture to the garment, rather than, say, you know, a big tall collar on some other trucker jackets that kind of hide your button down shirt if you're wearing one. So I think that's kind of cool. And also another bonus point, as you can see, at least for me in a size 42 at height 6'2", the jacket's just the right length where I can basically use the hand pockets, you know, without needing to have pockets in the jacket, because there are no pockets, or the jacket being cut too long so I can't reach the pockets. It's kind of just the right length for me. Okay, cool. While we're at it, I might as well show you the black version too. So this is the Stevenson Overall Co Maverick Jacket, also a size 42 in the double black denim that comes from Collection Store. This version, as you can see, is pretty much all blacked out. So double black denim, the warp and the weft are both black fabric threads. The stitching is black, so it really kind of like pares down and simplifies the look of the jacket. The snaps are still that kind of aged copper look. They are not black snaps, but yeah, kind of a cool alternative to the Indigo jacket. And this version's definitely a softer denim, like it's way less starchy and just like that little bit more easy to wear day to day. So thanks for tuning in. This is the Stevenson Overall Company Maverick Jacket in a 5x1 review.